Um, Hello, welcome for Corn TV. I'm a bit of a shock at the minute. Yeah, we're the North Bank, yeah, but I am watching the Tottenham game right at this second, right, and the keeper just had a bit of a travesty, tapped the ball to the striker. I don't even know who the striker was. Um, it's 17 minutes, and they've subbed the keeper off. They are 3-0 down. And they have subbed the keeper off.
in fairness, Comedy Central have never got bigger ratings than they will from the show tonight.
Yeah, I'm seeing my WhatsApp thing, and it's basically the club is a joke, and there's all sorts things coming through the timeline. Obviously, I can't read them all because A, I've got the match on, if you can call it that, and B, yeah, I'm on stream. But yeah, welcoming guys anyway. Sorry about the interruption to the channel, but you can you can appreciate my kind of flummoxed approach to the
One of my good friends, and we've known each other many years, is a Tottenham fan, and I've literally messaged him. I'm genuinely finding this hilarious, but I feel sorry for you. And his response was exactly as I just said it would be off camera. He's like, please don't.
Yeah,
It's bad
don't.
enough already.
Yeah, it's bad enough as it is. And I've said the same to Tottenham mates and whatever, just going, I actually feel sorry for you as a fan. And I feel sorry for you. And it's just like, that does not make me feel any better. So don't do it. And I'm like, well, I can't help it. I'm a football fan at the end of the day. And just so happened, you picked a shit team. But it's just mad. I mean, to think that these guys were on streams. I mean, completely off topic now. We're not even on the topic that we started the stream to go on to because, yeah, it's the equivalent of a bomb going off. But it's 3-0 down, 17 minutes gone, and your keeper has been subbed off. I mean, I don't know what. No, he wasn't injured. No, he's mentally injured.
Wow.
And he's probably even more mentally injured now.
I mean, that's the end of his Tottenham career, isn't it? I mean, I don't see how there's the way back. Like,
mind you, it's under Igor anyway, isn't it? So Igor's probably not staying very long anyway. So
no, I mean, he's the worst Tudor since King Edward VI.
And that includes the dead ones.
Well, I mean, King Edward VI is also dead. He was on the phone in the 1500s, if memory serves.
Dead as a post. But yeah,
I genuinely can't believe that you've hooked him off. They've hooked him off after 15 minutes.
It's just mad.
Oh.
Jed Spencer's walking the tightrope as well. I think he's got. I think he's already been. Oh, that's a dive anyway. What are you doing? But yeah,
Phil McNulty has just posted that actually even the Athletic fans applauded him off, as in like genuine sympathy applause.
Yeah, they shouldn't be. He shouldn't have played him anyway. I don't know why is he rested Vicario? I don't understand.
He's dropped him. I don't think he's arrested. I think that's a drop.
I mean, if it's an attitude thing, right? The worst thing you can do is, in the need of trouble, is bring him back in.
Yeah.
They should have just stuck by him, even if it was going to cost them 10 goals.
Yeah.
They should have just stood by him. Because you remember what happened with Van der Ven when he was basically being told to push up, and
just looked at him and looked away, shook his head and
4-0.
No way.
This is tragic.
Yeah. I'm going to have to put it on my phone. I was following it on Twitter. I try not to watch it because I get distracted, but I'm gonna have to. Put it.
Well, I mean, the stream's gone. The stream is just like we will do things in between, but yeah, Alvarez did just dive and he got a yellow card for it, rightly so. But yeah, shocking. He shouldn't be doing that. Absolutely shocking. Especially when you're 3-0 up, you really don't need to be doing it. It's just a joke.
It's yeah. You don't. As you're right. But I mean, I've no words for how bad this has got for Spurs. Like,
yeah, yeah. I know where. But do you watch Deji at all? Deji
no, I don't think so.
Okay, Deji basically said we're going to get relegated, but don't worry, we're going to win the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean they would never win in the Champions League. I mean,
that's why everybody just laughing.
Yeah, I would ask if Galatasaray was serious candidates. I was like, no, just because they beat Liverpool, no.
Yeah, but they're not going to. Liverpool will still win.
Yeah, of course.
I still think Liverpool will win. To be fair, so yeah, there's a fly buzzing around my room now. It's yeah.
Yeah, it just see if Vicario can catch it. Oh no, that's not going to happen.
No, that's not happening. Not happening. Change keeper and the same keeper. The changing keeper does the same job. But yes. Anyway,
we should probably talk about Arsenal.
Any digression? Oh, some digression. We'll talk about the Mansfield game. What do you think about the lineup? Do you think expect Dauman and Salmon to be included, or what did you think of it, really?
Salmon was one I was thinking might be. Dauman I was less sure on because I wasn't quite sure where his fitness was at, but also I thought there was more options. But Salmon, I didn't necessarily expect to start. I wouldn't have been shocked if he hadn't started, because quite often with these sides go big, hard, early, full pressure, full throttle, try everything. And if you've got a 16-year-old in the back line, you're going to target him. So I could see Arteta choosing not to for those reasons, but I was really pleased he did. And I know, obviously, he sold Mosquera slightly short of that pass, but I don't really hold him at fault. It was Mosquera should have stepped up. Another young player, by the way, and young players will make mistakes. But I thought Marley Salmon played really, really well. But it was... I liked the selection in many ways because we didn't see the players I definitely didn't want to play on the field start at all. In fact, some of them didn't come at all. Raya, Zubimendi, Rice, didn't travel at all. Obviously, Saka and Timber did come on, but the players that felt needed a rest got significant rest, which I thought was really, really important. And I know it meant a formation change, but he put the players roughly where they should be. He was bold, he was brave, and he really just went, the people that say he doesn't rotate again were just proved wrong here, because he could have easily had an excuse not to rotate.
The thing that I noted about that as well is when we're actually in the game. Yeah, it's 4-1. When we're actually in the game, that's kind of the formation we play anyway, more or less. But we just don't start like it. So we start in a 4, I guess, and then end up in the 3. So I don't think it was a formation change as such. It was just a bit of a shift from doing it from the off, wasn't it? Kind of a bit of an adaptation, if you like, rather than
I think it was an adaptation, yes, but I think it is a formation change, because you normally then, in a defensive structure, is where the formation change sort of came from. In possession, you're absolutely right. It wasn't really a formation change, but out of it, it was. And I think you kind of saw them picking up slightly different spaces as a result. It did look a little bit disjointed, but I also think that was because of the combinations aren't used to playing to each other more than what I've just said. And I also think Mansfield came out strong, hard, and made life difficult, as you'd expect them to do. They've got nothing to lose. So they might as well go for it. But, we did look more comfortable. We went to our usual sort of shape, because then they were taking up the positions they usually take on the pitch. But I thought it was a really bold selection by Arteta. And I think, I've seen several comments online saying, well, he shouldn't be risking things like this. This was pre-kickoff. Shouldn't be making these many changes. Like, but hang on, I'm looking back on your timeline and you're going, he's got to make changes. I want to see full changes. Like, which is it? Just because we've had a difficult start to the game, you can't now change the narrative. So I thought it was really brave, and ultimately we won the game. We didn't play brilliantly, but we won the game. That's what we had to do.
Yeah.
You know, I said to you in your short afterwards on the comment, the only concern was where those injuries were, but they were both in training today, so you were spot on. They were precautionary, which is what the hope was. But
yeah, absolutely. I just think that Calafiori landed a bit funny onto a bit of a dent in the pitch, or a divot. But it was like his ankle went into the divot and his foot stayed on the turf. It was a bit weird, but it was like, well, I did like as well that they brought out the same old Arsenal always cheating, and both players that supposedly dove were substituted off straight away. There was no messing around with it. They just substituted them straight off. So it's like, right, okay, your logic is kind of being dismissed right now. You know, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I thought. To be honest with you, the concession of the goal was a bit. I think it was 50-50 on Salmon and Mosquera. I think Salmon should have made a better ball.
Oh, 100%, yes.
But I thought Mosquera had plenty of opportunity to deal with it, and he did that thing, and he kind of backed off it, and then backed up.
I think it's 5.
No, well, I'm not at that point, but
no, it was someone messing around. Don't worry. No, someone messing around.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I just seen the guys on the floor, and it's, yeah, I was seeing if it was a penalty actually, but because they'd stopped the play. Still 4-1. I've got, but yeah, I thought Mosquera could have done much better. I think he backed away too much, and then he did a little twist, and it was like, nah. As soon as you've done that, you know, the striker's all over you now.
Yeah.
And I thought the striker was doing really well as well. To be fair, I thought he played the game really well. To be honest.
Yeah, he was massively up for it, and he deservedly got man of the match. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you that Salmon's not blameless, but I felt that was more on Mosquera. He's got to come to that ball and clear that out. He's got to step to it much faster than that. But again, both of them are young guys. They are going to make mistakes. We should point them out rightly, but equally, I don't have the same. I mean, we win the game ultimately, and that's what matters. But I don't have the same level of criticism for it.
I think the only reason Mosquera didn't step onto it was because he was the last man at that point. So there was nobody really, not that I can remember anyone, that was running in to kind of cover behind him. So everybody
there's no cover, but he should be getting there. I thought that was a ball that was going to get to him. The only thing I can think of for him not thinking get there is he thinks that ball's going to bobble off the pitch and go a bizarre angle, and that's going to make him look silly. That's it. I wonder if that hesitation was because of that, because the ball was moving oddly off that pitch. And maybe that's what did it, but you know, overall through, and that's the key.
Yeah, it probably was a bit of that, but I think our player of the match was Dowman, wasn't it?
Yeah, unquestionably, yeah.
He did really well, and I particularly liked. I don't know what you thought, but that there was one point where there was a striker. I think it was Reed. I want to say it was Reed. Basically, took him straight out, and he went to the floor, and basically stood up and just basically smirked at the guy. And I was like, that's class. That it's just like, yeah, it's not phasing you whatsoever, and you're just going, yeah, all right, bloke, you have to do that to take me out because he can't stop me. And it was quite funny.
Yeah, I heard I can't think who I heard talking about this, but it was one of the sort of notable Arsenal journalists. I want to say James McNicholas, but it wasn't him. It might have been Art de Roche that was saying it.
Right.
But he basically, Dalman was probably the most used to that pitch of all the Arsenal players because
Yeah,
he's
probably.
recently played at the youth levels. They play at
Yeah.
Boreham Wood, where the
Boreham
ground
Wood,
isn't
yeah.
great. He's also been playing against guys far more physical than him for years, and therefore is most used to it. And that they thought that actually helped him there. I mean, I thought Madueke and Eze's goals were excellent. Certainly, I thought the substitutions for the third match running, by the way, from Arteta, was spot on in this game. But
Yeah, I
Dalman
agree.
looked effortless. You know, I was talking about this earlier today and yesterday, but you know, a couple of Arsenal players didn't cover themselves in glory at all, you know, and had difficult games. Gabriel Jesus, sort of chief amongst them. He had another poor game, and I think his Arsenal career is coming to an end. But
Yeah.
people were saying how embarrassing it is that Max Dalman made the rest of our team look rubbish. And Dalman was our best player. But equally, that doesn't mean that the rest of them played badly. But also, Dalman is genuinely potentially generational here. You know, I use the word potential because he's only got a handful of minutes and a handful of games, and
Yeah.
he's 16. But, and I was talking about this on my video today, and I say if you can think of an example, but I can't think of, bar Lamine Yamal, who I think is at a different level to Dalman, as in, you know, higher. I can't think of another 16-year-old that has come into a side that is in a genuine competition for a title race, as opposed to, you know, someone like Paris Saint-Germain, where the title's won before you even kick the ball. You know, a genuine title chasing side, and has looked like they belong and can play significant minutes in it in the Premier League. So I can think of likes of Wayne Rooney, Alan Smith,
Yeah,
James
Rooney's got
Milner.
to be the obvious example, hasn't he?
But they came
Michael
through at
Owen,
sides
maybe.
like Everton. Michael Owen might be the closest, actually.
Yeah.
I had Theo Walcott as well, but they all came through at sides like
Yeah,
Everton,
Walcott's
Southampton,
not so much, but yeah.
Leeds. They came through. They weren't sides competing for honours. It's a bit like Bukayo
Yeah.
Saka, I know slightly older, but we weren't that great when Saka came through. And I'm not dissing Saka. I think he's a really good player. But would Saka at 16 or even 18 have come through into a side this strong? Because presumably, if we were this strong and Bukayo Saka was trying to come through, we'd have someone like another right wing starter for him to come into.
Well, he wouldn't be starting at left back, would he?
Well, exactly. He would, which is how he came through in the first place.
Left back.
You know, and that's not dissing any of these players. It's more to sort of how amazing it is that Dalman has made it into this team, because it's not easy to get into the Arsenal team these days. And at 16,
the problem is you've got so many people now that basically say, "No, we should play every game. We should do this. Should do that, and do the other." The guy's 16, man. You know, they shouldn't be playing him out the amount of games that he's playing, but they don't really have a choice. So it's just a case of they play the minutes that's needed. And, you know, if Ranieri doesn't go on loan, is he getting played at all? We don't know that really, but it's yeah, you got to protect these guys. You can't be just playing them, you know, week in, week out and expecting them. I mean, we did it with Guendouzi, for God's sake, and it was like, well, there is no way at that time should Guendouzi have been starting games for us. And there's people now that rewrite history and basically go, yeah, he's some kind of world beater, and we shouldn't have let him go, and, you know, this, that, and the other. And you're like, no, mate. You know, he did a job, but he wasn't as good as some of the players that are brought in.
No, you're exactly right. And, you know, as you say as well, when someone like him, and he's physically very well developed, he's 6 foot tall already, and he's 16. You know, maybe he's grown early and he's not going to grow much more, but you'd expect him now to be at least 6'2", 6'3", probably. But, you know, so he is more physically developed. I made the comparison last year between Miles and Wanyeri, but Miles's body could stand up better to it because it was physically bigger and more developed than Ethan's, despite them being of similar age. So his body does look older than a 16-year-old, but it is still growing. It is still developing. He is still 16. Sure. But he also needs a mental protection, the expectation protection. You know, Arteta's not been quite as careful with him as he was with Ethan, which probably suggests that he's mentally tougher potentially. That's me making 2 + 2, which could be equaling 5. But he still needs all of those protection. What happens when he eventually makes a mistake? And right now we are going for titles, and we don't want to be putting that all on a 16-year-old lad, precocious as he is, and he is a precocious talent.
The point is as well, though, you as much as you can't, you've got to protect them. You can't stifle them either. So
No,
it's a
that's also true.
fine balance to kind of manage whether you're stifling the career at all, or you're actually helping it, because
Yes.
like we say, it's a completely fine balance between the two, and if he's not going to get game time, then he has to go on loan, doesn't he? But it's
I agree. But it seems like what I'd expect to see with Dalman is that he's probably now going to be on the bench for 90% of our remaining games. He probably starts against Southampton.
Yeah,
If we win the
absolutely.
league, he starts, Crystal Palace. I'm just using that as an example. If we've won the league, that sort of game.
I think there'll be sub appearances. I don't think that they'll start in those games, but
I can see him starting Southampton.
Southampton. I agree with you, but I think the league games, I think it would still be too much, because if potential champions, then obviously then you still got to carry that a little bit. So I still think he'll manage minutes, and he towards the latter end, I think they may well be closer to the starting of games, but yeah, for me, I think it'll be 20 minutes here, 25 minutes there.
I think so too. I was just saying that if we've won the league already, then maybe he starts the last game of the season or something like that.
Yeah,
But
last game.
league,
I can see the last
league,
game.
which is why I said Crystal Palace. But
Yeah.
the league has to be won. Otherwise, I agree entirely with you. He's not starting games. And nor should he. I think that's
I'm
the
not
right
even
approach.
sure. Even if we are done with it, I'm not sure even in that situation. But yeah, he just needs protecting, doesn't he? And I mean, I ain't a professional coach. I can manage people, but it's like at the end of the day, I don't know what the whole scenario is. But at the end of the day, it's up to them to manage it, and so long as they do it right and look after the player, but make sure they're playing, then it's fine by me, to be honest.
Van der Ven lucky to not get another red. It's all going wrong, isn't it?
How the hell has he got away with that?
I don't know.
That's mad. How is it's nowhere near the ball.
He's almost. I think he's almost trying to get himself sent off there.
It looks that way, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. It's the whole club is in. I genuinely still think that probably Spurs will survive because Leeds are getting dragged back in as well now. But it is looking really dire for them. Really dire. The whole club looks like it's given up.
Yeah, I can see this going properly wrong. Like as if not just a scoreline, the players off and all sorts.
Yeah, the players look like they are actively switched off.
That's another shocking challenge from Danso. That.
Yeah, their heads have gone completely.
Absolutely gone. Absolutely gone. Yeah. I don't know how he's got away with that either. But I'm not saying that one's necessarily a red card.
That's not as bad as the other one.
It's definitely not as bad as that, but it's a bit shocking. But yeah.
Back to more important matters.
Back to more important matters, yes. So the draw happened. And as we're
I'm laughing because I remember the first thing I said after the draw was how long until the conspiracy theories start up?
and they'd already started by that point.
Probably had by the time we went live.
Literally already started. It's like, Arsenal always get easy draws and this, that, and the other. And you're like, have you seen our draws over the years? That all right, yeah. This year they've been pretty good for us, haven't they? I mean, to be fair, but I can't remember another season where we've had such luck with draws. To be honest with you,
not so consistently. No, I mean, look, domestically in the domestic cups, until the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, and I think that will be true if we were to beat Southampton. But I think we will not get such a favourable draw. Maybe we get Leeds or something like that. But you're probably going to get one of the big ones in the semis. But I can't remember
Maybe
Arsenal
Chelsea
getting.
again, wouldn't
Yeah, I have that horrible feeling it's going to be. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be Chelsea again.
Just don't want to play Chelsea again. It's boring. But it's
almost a gimme at this point, though.
Yeah, I don't fear them, but it's not the tie I want. But I don't want Man City either, to be honest with you, because the narrative will be dull around that too. But we get who we get, but we have been fortunate in the domestic cups. But the idea that we've been fortunate in the Champions League is just not on, because we deserved our luck in that.
We earned it
because of our performance in the group stage. But as you say, in past 4 or 5 years, we've not really had significant lucky draws in the last 4 or 5 years. We've had the odd one, but we haven't had consistently, lucky ties. And don't get me wrong, when we have had favourable ties, we didn't necessarily take advantage of it in the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. But that's holding your team accountable rather than anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I was talking earlier tonight and someone was saying they hope City go out. I hope City go through against Real Madrid, because their run of fixtures looks really, really hard. I can see why they're like, oh God,
they are starting to worry, aren't they?
Yeah, because actually that is another tricky draw and another tricky set of games for them. But that said, you get who you get. The idea that Joe Hart has deliberately gone to go and make the tie as tricky as possible for him, or the balls were hot.
Yeah, when he's a City fan anyway, isn't
he?
Exactly.
It's like,
and why does he want to play Liverpool? I mean, he did kind of celebrate it a little bit, but he was like, well, yeah. I mean, and they're all showing his face looking down the hole of the the draw thing, and he's like, well, yeah. As soon as he's put his arm in, he looks away.
Yeah, exactly.
And he did mix them up. He didn't put his hand on one, pretend to mix them up, and then pull the same one out.
If I'm going to go and pick up a plate, I'm not going to go, oh, the plate's over here somewhere.
Plate's over here. Yeah.
You're going to go, there it is.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Yeah, absolutely madness. But you get the conspiracy theorists, and it's just, we had a conversation on a TFT WhatsApp group, basically where this Liverpool fan was basically saying, oh yeah, we always get the lucky draws, and we do this and we do that and we do the other. We provided the evidence, and he was like, so it was like Liverpool went out 10 times to lesser opposition, meaning non-Premier League opposition, right? And we basically said to him,
carry
on.
I said carry on. Sorry, I started to laugh, but not at that.
Okay, there's been another one.
No, I'll tell you very quick. Paddy Power just posted Harry Redknapp already putting up outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, his arm resting on the open car window. just tickled me that.
Yeah, with his brown paper bag in his hand.
Envelope, surely.
Yeah, envelope, same thing. But yeah, we had him in the group chat, and he's basically doing all these conspiracy theories and whatever. And we were like, haven't you gone out to lower opposition? Like last year, you went out to Plymouth Argyle, right? And he was like, well, that doesn't matter because we'd have got a Premier League team afterwards.
Well, how could you possibly know that?
Yeah, it was just like, well, that's the biggest juncture of hypothesis you can possibly pick off. What the hell? It's just mad.
Ultimately, you still didn't get through.
Yeah, it was like I mean, did you hear Joe Cole on that thing? He was basically going on about he was like, oh yeah, they've spawned it again until Chelsea got Port Vale. You were like, okay, now you can shut up, can't you?
Yeah. Got anything you'd like to add, Joe?
It was funny.
I mean, I've just never bought into even when Arsenal fans were saying there's a conspiracy against us in the refereeing community. Like, no, the referees are just bad. They're not out to get us. They're just bad.
Yeah, you can say there's a media agenda because I genuinely think there is.
I think so.
But I don't think there's an agenda on the referees. I just think they're just not fit for purpose and just very inconsistent and just generally rubbish. I'll say that for any team going.
Well, we said it at Brighton, didn't we? Referee was
Yeah,
shocking for both sides.
it was shocking for both sides.
We said again, have you ever heard both sets of fans boo the referee off? I've never
The
heard
the whole stadium booed him off, and obviously for different reasons. But yeah, I mean, I still can't get over that guy that was counting the whole time, and yeah, the group of lads behind me, we basically started counting back at him, and he kind of looked over a bit sheepishly a bit like after that, and it's just like, yeah, you can stop counting now, mate. Yeah. Guys, if you are in here, please make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. I know it's gone a bit off the rails tonight, but
I suspect we might be losing viewers to the comedy show.
Yeah, I think we're on the same amount of viewers, so it's fair enough. I mean, it gets to 4-1. I mean, I'm not sure you need to watch it, to be honest with you.
No.
So yeah,
I'm a bit worried about it. It's gone very quiet.
Yeah. Liverpool obviously lost to Galatasaray tonight.
Yes.
Do you still expect them to go through? Bearing in mind as well that the Galatasaray fans can't have, well, they can't travel. So yeah, I expect that they'll be trying to get home tickets as we speak. But yeah, it's do you expect them to go through still?
Yeah, 100% I do. I mean, I should have looked this up beforehand, but the general thing with Galatasaray historically, and I think it will probably be true this season, but maybe the results this season prove me wrong and prove me a liar. But Galatasaray generally a bit like Celtic in the early 2000s, awesome at home, but not so great away. It's a difficult place to go. Fans are there. They're an aggressive front foot, fast pace, full throttle side. And with the fans roaring them on, it is a difficult place to go and get a result. But you'd expect Liverpool to overturn them at Anfield, and I'd be surprised if they're not in the quarterfinals as a result of this. They've only lost by one. They've only got to overturn one goal, but they do have a few players that can hurt players like Yildiz and Osherman, of course, who can sort of cause problems. But I'd expect Liverpool to go through. I don't know what you think, but.
Yeah, I absolutely do think that they'll go through. I mean, yeah, it's not as easy as they would like it, but yeah, I just can't see them going out. I mean, it's obviously at Anfield as well. I would have thought that Galatasaray, with that hostile environment as well, I think it's a tough trip.
Yeah.
They made a lot of noise. I don't know if you heard the kind of stadium and stuff, but it was really loud.
I didn't tonight because I was on a stream when they were playing. But I mean, I've heard it before and seen it before. It's raucous. Is the understatement of the year when it comes to describing it.
And I think that they put up a decent fight, especially considering that they can't take fans to the to Anfield, but. Yeah, I mean, I can't see. I can't see them not turning around. It's like you say, it's only one goal, so.
Yeah, I think if it was 2-0, I'd be less sure, but at 1-0, I'm fairly sure they're going to make that through.
Sorry, I was just seeing one of the calamity goals where the keeper basically he tried to kick the ball and just upended himself. It was a calamity. I do understand why he's got tucked. Why, yeah, like you say, I think that's probably his career over.
He's got to be, isn't it? I'm just watching. What's the man? The Spurs fan who does all the clever sort of wordplay
expressions.
I'm just watching a 26-second clip of him. I can't hear what he's saying. They're absolutely mad.
He's already lost the plot anyway, so it's yeah. And yeah, guy should be on stage or something. That guy.
Yeah, his turn of phrase is incredible. To be fair,
Yeah, he's just so quick with everything. It's untrue.
yes. If only Spurs had his quickness and sharpness,
Yeah. Yes. Maybe they should hire
they
him.
might be capable of doing something.
Yeah, maybe they should hire him. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely, absolutely shocking. But yeah, I like watching his stuff. Even I mean, especially when Spurs are crap.
Yeah, I mean, it's always funny when they've lost, but
just adds a bit of extra flavour. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you expect us to beat Southampton, obviously away.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you would. I mean, I think the only caveat I put on that, I mean, it's the FA Cup, so you never know. But the caveat I would put on it would be, we're still in the Champions League. We've won the Carabao Cup, and the gap at the top is down to like 1 point. 4 points, but say Palace have, assume Palace lose to City, which is not something you can guarantee happening. But you know what I mean? The Premier League is tightening. At that point, there might be a question in Arteta's mind if he's carrying a few injuries or a little bit of tiredness. Does he rotate beyond the point where, he can still win the game? Because I think you can probably make 4 or 5 changes for Southampton and win the game. But you're going to need a bit of a core in there. You probably can't rest both Rice and Zubimendi, for instance. You're probably not resting both your centre-backs. But Shay's at the point where those 4 all need to come out. Suddenly, you've got Southampton in with a shot here, because Southampton are a good run of form, by the way, and closing in the playoffs under their new manager since Will Steele was sacked. So that would be the caveat I put on it, would be, in that scenario, does he rotate so far that he potentially costs Arsenal the progression? Because I still can't see Arsenal winning all 4 trophies.
No, but you've still got if you're in a shout with winning all 4, you still have to go for all 4, as the case may be, because the worst thing to be is to be in this position and end up with nothing, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think if you've lost the Carabao Cup final, I think even if that league is tightening, you take this a bit more seriously than you might otherwise have. Because, as you say, you don't want to end up with nothing. But if you've got one in the bag and you're still in the other 2 and you're worrying about those things, maybe you rotate past that. But, it's still a month away, isn't it, at this point? It's Easter weekend. And if it's a Saturday, I'm not going to be able to watch it at all because it's my brother's wedding. But so fingers crossed for the Sunday. But we'll see. But I would expect Arsenal to be able to make five changes or so and progress past a decent Southampton side.
Yeah.
I don't know if you think there's any chance that Southampton go through. I mean, there's always a chance, but you know what I mean.
I would hope not, but I mean, obviously, it is the FA Cup, so nothing's impossible. I would like to think that getting to this stage and having the draws in that cup, at least, bearing in mind that everybody goes, "Oh, we had ridiculous draws in every competition." When we played Palace, Brighton, and Chelsea in the League Cup, not particularly easy opposition.
No.
And when we played Palace, by the way, Palace were beating everybody.
Yes, they were. They were in a really good run of form.
Really good vein of form. And when we actually beat them, all right, we took Eze off them. But yeah, even at that point, I think they were doing pretty well.
Yes. Yeah, they were in a good. They did rest a few players against us as well, which obviously helped.
They rested the players because of the European game midweek that they had.
Yeah,
and then they put them back in. I don't know. Yeah,
they didn't fully rotate. They rested 1 or 2 from memory.
Yeah. So they rotated more for the Europa
League,
the Conference League game.
Conference League. Sorry, yes, you're right.
Yeah. They rotated more for that than. I think they did have a couple of injuries, and obviously they'd lost Eze. But invariably, it was still a strong side and a side that had been beating other opponents. So I don't think that that can be understated either, to be honest. I do think Brighton are probably a bit weaker than they have been previous seasons. So I guess
But
there's
still
a
a
bit of,
decent side.
but yeah, a decent side, and I think weren't they were sixth or something at that point?
Yeah, I mean they were right up there.
Yeah,
I don't think they ever climbed as high as fifth, but they were certainly in and around the sixth, as you say. They were
yeah, I think they were
certainly for a
sixth
while.
at that point. I believe. But yeah, so yeah, I expect to win it. I don't expect it to be a walkover or whatever, and I certainly don't expect it to be one where you can put two 16-year-olds on.
Good as
But
they are.
well, yeah, but I mean, like I said, it could well be that he gets a sub appearance, a Downman gets a sub appearance, but I would expect a stronger back line.
Yeah, I agree entirely. You know, I'm not stunned if Dowman starts, but I'd be stunned, as you say, if Dowman and Salmon start.
Yeah. Yeah, so one and particularly Dowman, I wouldn't expect it to be Salmon
No,
unless there's some injury
unless there's an
crisis
injury
going on.
crisis at the back. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, a month out, you just don't know. But
yeah, and then I either expect it to be. I expect either Liverpool beat City and they play us, or we play Chelsea.
I think so too. I mean, much I'd like the Leeds. Is it West Ham they've got?
Leeds, West Ham, in it, yeah.
But you know, I
Yeah,
like you.
Chelsea get the winner of that, and we'll get the winner of City Liverpool, I reckon.
Yes, I think that. Yeah, I think we're certainly getting one of the big two.
So, yeah.
For sure. I'm just watching the third goal again. It's just, I mean, honest to God, that is.
What's that? You watching rerun of the goals?
Yeah,
They're tragic, aren't they?
I,
You don't expect to see that in under 12s football, let alone anything else.
no,
Champions League football, that is.
Yeah. You might see it at junior football because they're A, kids, and B, the ground is absolutely awful. But that's a carpet.
That's shocking. Absolute shocking. Yeah. It's at Spurs as well, isn't it?
No, it is in athletics.
Oh yeah, it is because they did the tifo, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did the colours. We fell in love with the colours or whatever it is. So, yeah, they did that first. So yeah. Ah, yes.
I mean, what I didn't realise until I've just seen it now was Igor Tudor ignored Kinski as he walked off.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. One of the coaching staff or medical staff went down with him, but it wasn't Tudor. He didn't go to him at all. And I'm not surprised he went down yeah, but that's terrible man management.
Yeah, that's shocking. That he should.
That's genuinely shocking.
Yeah, he should be at least tapping on the shoulder, patting him on the back or something.
Yeah, like the lad's clearly distraught. He's not gone out there deliberately to. He's had a
exactly. He's had a shocker, but he's
you just destroyed him.
Yeah, if you're gonna pull him off, at least give him some empathy for yeah, just mad.
That's shocking management.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
shocking
not
is his keeping, to be fair, but
yeah. I mean, God, I hope they don't sack him in the morning.
It doesn't matter if they sack him, though, does it? At this point, does it?
Well, the big problem Spurs have got is, apart from the injuries, it is that I think we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. Would be the players aren't used to this. The fans have given up. You might win some of the fans back. That might be important. But the players aren't used to this, whereas the West Ham, Leeds, Forest ones are far more used to this scenario.
Yeah, even your Burnleys and potentially Wolves. I mean, Wolves have been kind of out of it for a little while, haven't they? So
But I mean, the thing as well here is, how do you get the players buying into you, even if you are, Sean Dyche or someone like that? Because actually, this is going to sound bad, But if I'm Van der Ven, and I'm not this way inclined, so I don't think I would actually do this because I don't think my values would let me. But if I'm Van der Ven, I've got top sides looking at me across Europe. Top sides. I'm probably valued at, I mean, Tottenham are valuing about 120 million, which is mental. But there's a genuine 70 million pound defender in there, potentially. That's a lot for European sides that don't necessarily have the money that Premier League clubs have. He goes down to the Championship. That's suddenly a 30, 40 million pound sale.
Yeah,
And
they
it's easy
can't.
for me to go. So therefore, if I'm Van der Ven, do I really want to try him? We saw him almost deliberately try and get himself sent off again. Is it that you actually is unsalvageable because the players know their best way out of here is to go down because the club will have to sell them. You know, that could be their even bigger issue.
What's his first name?
Mickey Van der Ven or Tudor. Whose first name you after?
Van der Ven.
Mickey Van der Ven. I mean, Tottenham are saying they won't sell for less than 120 million, but that's just. I mean, whether they've said that or whether that's just rubbish, I don't know. But that's what's coming out. But he's not 120 million. But that's a negotiating position anyway. It's a negotiating position anyway. It's like Arsenal saying they want 120 for Odegaard. It's a negotiating position.
Yeah, I can't find him on transfer marks.
Oh, I'll find him. I found him the other day. I mean, his value's just plummeted in recent days.
Yeah. But the thing is as well that if he's doing what he was doing for the manager or not doing, as the case may be, he has to be punished for it.
Yeah, I think so.
Because every other player just take the mick anyway.
They're valuing at 65 million euros.
I mean, as that must have gone down.
Yeah, that's got to have gone down.
Yeah, it has to have gone down.
I mean, he's been shocking the last few weeks, but he is a decent defender.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, he's helped out a lot by the pace. But
yes, it allows him to recover when he does get it wrong. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that they're not doing the head-to-head with Gyökeres anymore, isn't it?
Yeah.
You remember when they did that? The head-to-head and 6 goals and 6 assists or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you're like, suddenly you're not doing that anymore.
Can't think why.
Wonder why that is. But yeah. So we got Leverkusen tomorrow night. What are you expecting from that?
I'm expecting to progress over 2 legs for sure. Evening, Khalid. I think talk of us doing what we did to PSV at this stage last season, I think is a bit disrespectful. I think Leverkusen are a better side than that. I know they've been gutted. They've lost their manager, Xhaka, Frimpong, Boniface, Hincapié. I'm missing someone as well, but no, I said Frimpong. But anyway, you know, Jonathan Tah, they've lost him. But they're still a very good side. Sorry?
Fiat's as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, he came from there as well.
Yeah. So they've lost some good players, but they're still a decent side. I mean, they're reportedly about Patrick Schick tomorrow, and that's a big boost for him because he's their top scorer. Although Grimaldo has 12, I noticed. But you know, I think tomorrow will be a difficult one, but I think if Arsenal come back with anything more than a draw from there, I think they'll progress in the second leg. The ideal, of course, for Arsenal is you go there and you win the tie comfortably, and then you can rotate heavily ahead of the cup final. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't. Firstly, I don't see that happening, and secondly, I don't think you can even if you're 3-0, 4-0, I don't think you can fully rotate anyway.
No, but it probably allows you to do 5 or 6 rather than
I'd say 2 or 3 maybe. 2 or 3 maybe.
5 or 6 is a bit high. 4 or 5 feels more likely. But you could rotate out Saka, for instance. You could probably rotate one of the
maybe Rice
or guarded for or that sort of thing. But you know, I think, you know, if we go there and win 3-0 tomorrow, I'd be surprised. I think the only way that happens is if we're 2-0 up and Leverkusen go for it, knowing that they need a goal to get back in the tie, and we catch one on the break. So it's similar to how we got it against Real Madrid last
Yeah, I
season.
mean,
Late
I
on,
do
but
expect
I
them to
don't
go
see
for it, to be honest, because I think
I do
that,
too.
that they'll want to come to the Emirates with something.
I think they need to. I really do. I
Yeah.
think if they don't come back with, if they don't come to us with a lead, I think that will be a problem for them. You know, and as I say, I expect Arsenal to progress, but I don't think this is the walkover that people are thinking it's going to be. I really don't. You know, people saying anything less than 4-0 is a disgrace. Like you're just setting us up to fail.
That's
You're
just
setting us
set
up to
up.
fail. Yeah.
That's just set up, and I don't like it. And
No, I don't either.
I left one of the group chats earlier on this month. Well, last month probably. Purely because the guy was saying, "Oh well, no matter what, we need to get rid of Arteta. We need to do this. We need to do that and the other." We don't even need to be having that conversation right now for a start off. And
not when he's in all 4 competitions.
Yeah, exactly. And certainly, you know, because he's too pragmatic, because he doesn't take risks, because he doesn't do this, because he doesn't do that. And you're like, the league has changed, right? It's not that progressive football that everybody's playing, and you know, you play like that, and these lower sides they've created physical sides with quick forwards that can literally just soak it up and then ping a ball out and get one-on-one with the keeper. If you're full on, we've seen it in our games when we've pressed on.
Yeah.
And we've had nobody back in our half at all. And you've got to get somebody back.
Yeah.
So
and it's deliberate as well.
Yeah, of course it is.
The reason Liverpool and City, brilliant squads, brilliant players, no question. The reason they got to 100 points was because everyone tried to play like them. So therefore, the quality gap is this big, and it almost becomes that big. The quality gap right now is the same as it was then. The difference is trying to go, well, we can't match them, so we've got to play differently.
Yeah.
And suddenly the quality gap becomes like that, because if you've got...
Because they play to their strengths.
Yeah, playing to their strengths, as you say, hitting on transition, so you've still got some kind of threat, so you keep sides like Arsenal or City honest. But also, if you've dropped, 7, 8, 9 meters, you've compacted the box and gone, go on then, try and get through us. You're making it much, much harder, and therefore you narrow that gap. And it's all that is. What it does do is make it more boring to watch, but that's not on Arsenal, City, or even these sides. And I'm not going to criticize these sides for sitting in and playing deep. Why shouldn't they? It's their best chance of winning. They're not here to allow us to have a nice, easy game. They're here to try and win games, and it probably is their best chance. So, I'm not going to criticize them for it, but it does make it more boring to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing as Khalid's saying here. Wrexham first goal against Chelsea was so good. It was 2 touches, so basically just lumped it up. Yeah. Yeah, so it basically just lumped it up the field, and they go to finish, and that's it. So yeah, it's just getting more direct, isn't it? At the end of the day, and some teams can deal with it, and some teams can't.
Yeah, and sport tends to be cyclical. You tend to go through these patterns. And did I say Cheltenham or Cheltenham? I don't remember mentioning either of those.
Who mentioned Cheltenham? Thanks for joining us anyway. But
I mean, if I did, I have no idea what I was trying to say.
No, I don't.
But
I don't remember.
Did we say Chelsea and misspeak?
I thought we would say Chelsea and Wrexham.
Oh well. Anyway, yeah, we probably meant Chelsea. I think it's got to be the only one I can think of, because I can't think what I'd have been.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was me.
Either way, we probably meant Chelsea, but I don't remember what we said. So
you might need to remind us what you're referring to, because we can't remember.
But we're getting old. But we 100% definitely didn't mean Chelmsford. But yeah, but it is like that. It's gone back to sort of that mid-90s football. It's gone back to Jose Mourinho did fairly similar. Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've been in the stands when he's bored us to tears, and yeah,
Yeah,
I was
unfortunately, he
yawning
brought
just
us to
thinking
tears for
about it.
other
To be fair,
reasons as well.
yeah,
He unfortunately did have our number quite a lot when he was at Chelsea.
yeah, absolutely. But
But there
from
you go.
our point of view, not getting to the semi final is a failure, right?
I think you've got to take it game by game, but you would expect, given the draw, for Arsenal to get through to the semi-final of this competition
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
and obviously we probably expect Barcelona's there, but would you expect us to beat Barcelona? What was it from that point of view? If we get there, obviously not counting chickens as such. We're just
And we're not going
how
to get
would
Spurs.
him?
No, I think we're well suited to play Barcelona. I mean,
No, is the point of that? No, you're definitely not playing for Spurs.
yeah, no, of
It's
course.
now 5.
Yeah. That's
I saw the breakaway. I'm on a stream, so I'm probably be a bit behind.
I,
But
I, I'm also on a stream, and just as I said it, I knew you were watching them break away too.
yeah, I just saw it that 1-1. It was at the halfway line. I was like, right, okay, we will delay on this one.
Yeah, but yeah, but I think we're well suited to beating Barcelona. To be honest with you, they play a
Yeah, I
high line.
agree.
We saw Inter destroy them last year, and Inter play in a similar way to how we play, not identical, but fairly similar. If Hansi Flick has learned his lessons from last year, then fine. But he's a manager that tends to be fairly set. This is how I'm going to play football, sort of stuff. As are Barcelona is historically and culturally as a club, and therefore you wonder whether they will actually adjust to sort of try and beat us, because that's probably the best way to beat us. If they do that, that's going to be a game, and they can obviously hurt us. They've got loads of weapons, but I just think the way we play is well suited to facing Barcelona. Famous
Yeah.
last words as they go and spank us if we both get to the semis, but
Yeah, I agree though, but I think that Barcelona have to be clinical in the way they play because
they won't
they're
get so many
so
chances.
open at the back.
Yes.
And they just literally they just have to be clinical.
So I'm just doing a quick welfare check.
So I've just seen Simeone basically rallying the crowd, going, "Yeah, we want more of this. Come on."
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like he's not one of those guys that stop the ruthlessness. But yeah. Boring AFC says, "Evening, gents. Evening, sir. I hope you've subscribed to the channel and like the live as well and share it out if you can as well, please."
I actually really like the handle. 2 fingers up practice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a bit of a 2-finger salute to every rival fan right now, isn't it? It's quite good. Khalid says Odegaard out. We miss him badly. I think we miss Marino as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we do at times.
I think Marino is actually more of a leader at the end of the game. You know, that cool kind of calm it down, do whatever. And I think we miss him as much, if not more, than Odegaard actually.
I think we miss both of them for different reasons. I remember when we drew to Brentford, my first reaction going into the game was, this is a Marino Havertz game, and both were unavailable. And after the game, I thought that was, proven to be correct. But I think there are games where we miss, at the moment, we're missing Odegaard's calmness on the ball. There's a bit of, his ability to get hold of the ball, keep hold of the ball for, 6, 7, 8 seconds just to allow players to come up, and us to do what Barcelona used to do, which is keep the ball, knock it around a little bit. And I'm not saying we do it to that level, of course, but I do think we miss him from that perspective to give us a bit more of a breather. So I think we miss them both. And look, with a squad of this quality, when players are out, you kind of miss all of those players when they're not available. But Odegaard obviously hasn't been great for 18 months, but this idea that he's washed. He's got to be sold. I'm taking 20 million for him if people offer it tomorrow. I think is grossly unfair and ridiculous. But there are areas of his game he needs to step back up. He needs to refine that goal scoring and assist form. And I think some of that comes from his position on the pitch. Mikel Arteta called it outright where he drops too deep. He doesn't need to do that anymore.
I think he's dropped back into his old habit.
It's a habit, yeah.
Yeah, that he didn't need to do that, and it kind of makes a mockery of all this out coaching players and stuff like that, because it's clear that they're just left put in a position and kind of left to their desires, sort of thing. This is what I want from you, but you've got license still to do what you want. I mean, I don't know if you saw the interview in the press conference where the guy is basically calling out and basically going, did they play like that because you gave them more license to play like that? And
he looked fuming.
He was just like, what are you talking about? I think he's just over the media. I think he's just over the idiotic, nonsensical things. And then you got Pep that basically come out and can say whatever he wants, and they go, okay, carry on.
Yeah, injuries, by the way, now absolutely acceptable. I mean, he's right, by the way.
And the schedule and all this, like this and the other, and you're like,
I mean, he is right that his schedule is harder, but that is just what it is. And he is right about injuries. Once you get to a certain level of injuries, Tottenham finding it right now, there is very little you can do. So he's not wrong, but the reaction to it is very different.
True. But you could have made your position stronger in the Champions League by going stronger in the Champions League. So you control the controllables, right? So,
yes.
So if you go, right, okay, well, I can't control the League Cup. It is what it is. Although he played his full side against Exeter, which he didn't need to, just to stat pad. I mean, I assume that's what it was for. Arteta didn't do that.
Well, I think at that point they just wanted to win because they were struggling, weren't they?
Yeah, but against Exeter,
you'd expect to beat Exeter anyway. Exactly. Yeah.
You can't. You shouldn't be playing your whole 11 against Exeter, and then they go, well, we rotated against whoever they played the weekend,
Newcastle,
wasn't it? So they rotated for that, and they were like, well, all right, but you've got players back from injury and whatever. So yes, you did rotate, but they're not crap players, are they? Let's be honest.
No. But it's his tone though as well, isn't it? So I don't disagree with him fully. As you say, you're on fixtures. I agree with you. As I said, I think it is what it is, and you can't really moan about it. But his tone worries me. Whereas Mikel Arteta last season basically said we can't use it as an excuse, and yet gets hounded for it. I was arguing with someone earlier that who was saying that he was blaming the ball last year for Newcastle. Like, he was asked a question. It's like Calafiori.
He didn't blame the ball at all.
No. Calafiori was asked, "Are you missing home?" So he said, "Yes, and one day I'd like to go back and play for Roma. It's a club I support." He was asked a question. He naively answered it. They leave that bit out, So I don't disagree fully with Pep recently. They're trying the headlines, aren't they? Yeah, but it gets reported differently, and that's the irritation. It's a bit like the facts. They go for a specific fact and leave out the wider context, and that is where that agenda stuff is coming in. It is irritating.
Yeah, I mean, as I said to you last week, I was on the train coming back from or going up to the stadium at Brighton, and this guy was saying, "Oh, yeah, I can't stand him. He's always outside his technical area."
Yeah,
so it's every other manager in the league, every single one of them, every single manager stands outside the box. Hertzler last week, I don't think spent any time in his technical area. He spent it with the fourth official the whole time,
or in Cappier,
or within Cappier. Yeah, but I mean, he must have come out from his technical area then to basically mouth it in Cappier. So, but yeah, as Khalid says, mentality monsters crying about injuries. Look at the draws and referees. Yeah, absolutely.
And they don't do that, of course.
they don't do it, and it's only the mentally weak that do it, and this, that, and the other. Apparently, we've added flying drones to that, but we'll not go too deep into that one. You need to look it up if you haven't seen it already.
I think we can say Bayern Munich are through, by the way.
Bayern Munich?
Yeah, it's Atalanta 0, Bayern Munich 6.
Oh, is it? To be honest, I didn't expect Atalanta to get through at all.
No, I didn't, but I didn't expect them to beat 6-0.
No. Is that at home?
They're Atalanta at home, yeah.
Yeah.
They've got to go back to Munich.
Oh, it will be at home anyway, won't it? Because
because like us, they get home all the way through into the final.
Yeah. And somebody said, "Oh yeah, we can play Bayern Munich in the semi-finals." And you're like, "No, you can't.
No, we can't.
We can only play Bayern Munich in the final. That's it."
Yeah. And that was before the draw was even made. Once of
absolutely. That's with table finish.
Yeah.
So we can play third and fourth in the semi-final. Evening, SJ. Welcome in. How are we, sir? Hope you're good. Guys, if you are in here, please make sure you're liking live and sharing it out as well. Any comments, just drop them in the comment section and we'll get to them. Khalid said, Odegaard being out affects the team more, though. Weaker press, lack of control. We're forced to play Gyökeres when Kai could go up. So if Odegaard was fit. Look, I mean, I think Kai done a decent job when he come on up top against Brighton, to be fair.
Yeah. I think our play improved when he went up top. He held the ball up much better and ran the channels just as effectively.
Yeah, I think that they kind of, I don't know, they seem to kind of spread out a little bit and not focus on him quite so much.
Yes.
And just
he was affording more space, wasn't he, than Gyökeres was?
Yeah, I think so. And everybody slags off Gyökeres, and it was like, well, the attention that Gyökeres gets, and in fairness, our wingers should basically make more of that situation. To be fair.
100%.
Yeah, especially Martinelli as well, because I think that he kind of he fumbles a lot. To be fair.
Yes, and he's the man that can run into that space on that diagonal. One of the things I was excited to see that we haven't seen this season is Martinelli on the left and Gyökeres through the middle, because as Gyökeres does that drift towards the right back, which he loves to do, Martinelli can dart into that space.
Yeah, he can literally go the other way, but he doesn't. He goes straight into the same space, and there's nobody in the middle.
Both where they shouldn't. Both, as you say, in the same space where you want one there and one in the other space.
Yeah, so you literally go. Well, he's taking the defenders there. You go the other way. You go actually cut inside and go direct, and you pose much more of a threat. The defenders have got to make a decision then whether they stay on him or go with you.
Yeah, and, make him think.
Make him think rather than you just taking him down the same alley.
But actually, even if Martinelli doesn't go there, which he should, it's the space then for Saka to come through, or the whoever's playing 10 to come through. That is where we can make more use of it by thinking about the space that Gyökeres has vacated.
Yeah,
but I do agree with Khalid though on Odegaard. I think we are missing his pressing. I think we are missing his ability to keep hold of the ball when we're winning games. We are missing those elements.
Yeah, that drone thing is weird. Yeah, it demanded an investigation. Well, I think it's under investigation. Obviously not by football authorities, but by normal authorities. I would have thought.
You'd have thought, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Do you think City will knock out Madrid? I want them to play Bayern before we go to Etihad. I think they will. Yeah.
I think they will, and I like Khalid. I want them to. I was having this debate on a show at 6 tonight, where someone said they want them to go out. I was like, I absolutely do not want them to go out at this stage.
You want to play as many games as possible.
Yeah, and exactly for the second reason that Khalid just said. I want them. I don't want them to have 7 days rest before they play us. I want them to have a really tough Champions League tie.
Yeah, I agree. We just want them to go with the most amount of fixtures, because then they have to choose.
Yeah.
Because and what I want to see is I want to see the first leg. I want to see a draw, or simply one goal in it.
Yeah,
Don't
one
want
nil
to see any
Real
more than
Madrid.
that.
Yeah, no more than that. 0-0,
Yeah.
as you say.
Yeah, 0-0 or 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever. It just has to be one goal in it. If I don't want them to get battered, and I don't want them to batter them.
No, basically, I want them to have to go full strength.
Yeah,
for
you
the
have to go
return leg.
full strength in all their fixtures.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Because yeah, I think I think there's weaknesses in that squad, and yeah, I want them to get exposed really.
Yeah, I've been saying all season, I think, last week could be pivotal, but I think there is going to be drop points from us and them again before the end of the season. Ideally, I'd like them to drop points against West Ham. I'd feel a lot better about life if they dropped it sooner rather than later. But, I think probably City will need to respond in the league, and I expect them to do so against West Ham. But, if they could drop points
Do you actually believe that they do drop points at West Ham?
No, I was just saying I think City will beat them. I don't think it's a shock if they do drop points, but I think City will beat West Ham because I think they're going to need to bounce back.
Yeah, I know West Ham are on form and whatever, but form for them is not, it's not beating City form, is it?
Yeah, Somerville
Or
could be key.
drawing, whatever.
Yeah, if they can get Somerville away in space, that could be. But
Did he take a knock last night though?
he did. Yeah,
right at the end, I thought he had a knock. So
he did. Yeah.
I think it's a doubt whether he plays or not.
And I also think if he is a doubt, I think this is one where you don't take the risk on him because
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
probably going to lose anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're in that position, can you afford to decide a fixture before you've even played it?
No, but if there's a doubt about him and you're risking for the rest of the season, you're probably not taking that risk for this game. If you were playing, say, Brighton, Everton, Fulham, then maybe you take that risk because there's a good chance you get some points and you just need the points. And it's not to say you can't beat City, but if you're being told he's a high risk player for this one, and if he does what we think he could do, a hamstring or something, you've lost him for the rest of it. You're probably not taking that risk.
Yeah, I kind of get it. Like everybody says, if they can turn up a shock and get a point, that point could be instrumental, couldn't it, in a relegation battle. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's unlikely that they even get a point. To be honest with you,
I mean, if I was putting money on it right now, I would be putting money on a City win. I think City will win that game. I think they need to, and I think they will. But I'm not stunned if West Ham get a result. Whereas I was actually quite surprised that Forest got a result because it was at the Etihad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but people have been saying that defense is easily exposed all season, really.
Yeah, we've been saying on here as well.
Yeah, so it was just not a matter of time, but it's yeah, it's a strange one. But Khalid says here, how many games do you think we can afford to drop points and still win the league?
Depends on what you do at City, doesn't it? If you, I know that's a bit of a cop-out answer, but if you drew or won at City, that increases the number that you can drop points at. But I mean, I would take if you offered me a point at the Etihad right now, I'd take it.
Yeah,
I really would. But I think we can probably drop points in 3 games, 3 games, I reckon, because we've got basically got a 1 game and a bit advantage, haven't we? So you could probably, if you got a point,
they've got a game in hand as well, haven't they?
Yeah, so I'm calling it 4 points. But if we drew at City and that was one of the 3, and then let's say we lost 1, drew 1, so basically that would mean that City would have to go perfect. So we could probably, if we got a point at the Etihad, we can probably drop points in 4 games, including that one.
Yeah.
But City would have to go perfect, or they could draw 1, but their goal difference have to be better than ours at that point.
Yeah. See, I mean, I don't see City going perfect anyway.
I
But
don't either. No.
But I don't see us going perfect either.
No. But because of that scenario I just outlined, where you draw at City, you can actually drop points in 4 games, including that one, because I don't think City go perfect.
Yeah, the other factor as well is the goal difference, isn't it? So it's basically, if you're on the same points, they have to increase the volume of goals.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's basically worth another draw, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially. So it basically makes another factor. I was just trying to see where the goal difference is at. Is it +5?
Yeah, we've got a +5 advantage. I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to double check it now, but I'm pretty
that's
sure.
why I'm going to look, because I was I think
yeah, +5 to us.
Yeah, this one that it always loads up for me, and I always have to scroll right to the bottom to get the goal difference.
No, it's +5 to us.
Yeah, so we've got five goal difference, and that is actually massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is quite significant. Let's say they beat Palace 2-0. I can't see it being more than that. Then it's still 3-goal swing that's required as well.
Yeah, just let's hope that they don't batter West Ham. But yeah. Well, we can. Are you available Thursday?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll do another show on Thursday, and
yeah, sounds good.
We'll go through that obviously after the Leverkusen game and whatnot as well. But yeah. We played just before City play West Ham, a night fixture, so fans will be right up for it. When City drop points, it comes in clusters, so West Ham might get something from it.
I hope he's right.
The thing is, we play at R5 as well, don't we? So we play under lights as well.
Yeah, but I think they play at 8 o'clock.
What, the same day?
Yeah, they're 8 o'clock. We are 5:30. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we just got to beat Everton and then see what happens after that.
Yeah, we just have to control it. Like I said, just control the controllables and control our fixtures and let everything else take care of itself. And yeah, if we don't lose any games, essentially, they can't make any ground, can they?
No.
So we go on that basis.
Champions.
Yeah, go on that basis.
Goal in Madrid. Surely they're not coming back. Dominic Solanke scored.
I think they've subbed everybody off as well now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've pretty much subbed everyone off. Alvarez has gone off pretty much. Yeah, as you say, everyone's gone off pretty much for them.
So they've kind of gone, oh, it's done. And this is why you can't do it in the Champions League. You can't just assume it's done.
Yeah, you know, if you win this 5-1 tonight, you're probably safe in Spurs. Obviously, you can't rest everyone, but you can go to those, 4 changes or so.
I mean, it's still a 3-0 essentially, isn't it? Yeah. So it's and without the away goals rule and stuff, so it's still substantial, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure they'd much prefer a 5-1 than 5-2, to be fair.
Undoubtedly.
But there we go. Right, I think we've covered everything. We are going to call it there, I think.
I think a bit like Tottenham after 17 minutes.
Yeah, they called it a day on their keeper, and he's now a water carrier. He's not anything else. But there we go.
Apparently it's a howler from Oblak for their goal.
He didn't look very happy. So yeah, I haven't seen a replay of it. I'm watching on my phone. I haven't either. But yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're actually trying to give it a go now, which is a bit better late than never, I suppose.
It's Tottenham all over, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mayor show.
There we go. Right, mate. Thanks for joining us as usual.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, guys, thanks for being in the chat. Appreciate everybody. Please make sure you're hitting the like subscribing to the channel, and drop any comments in the comment section, and we'll get to it in due course. Thanks for being in there, Khalid. Thank you. Appreciate the questions and the comments as always, and we'll see you next time. Good night.